Welcome to our Downtown Development District online workshop, first ever on a Zoom platform. We're going to thank the governor for joining us and turn it over to him for his remarks. Would ask everybody, if you'd like to see the governor speak, just turn it to speaker view rather than gallery view. And Governor, please take it away.
Yeah, I'm just zooming in to listen to what you're going to do today in terms of the Downtown Development District, which is, in my view, one of the more impactful and more interesting economic development and community development programs that we've had in my 30 years in public service. It targets areas in our towns which need a lot of help. It encourages investment and creativity. And I really can't think of anything that's more important than that. And in each of the towns across our state, I've seen the impact already that it's had in the places where they've had projects from Wilmington to Seaford to Milford and others. And I know the interest that other cities and towns have in the program. I expect that part of your day is to provide information and an educational session for folks that are interested in participating, maybe folks that have already been designated or awarded, interested to hear about that. I think this program and programs like it are going to be increasingly important as we try to move out of this shutdown in the economy and get things rolling again. It is an area where we should be able to, at least on the state side, maintain funding. Whether the private investment will follow, I guess, remains to be seen. But these are resources that in some way are protected. Some of them come from cash to the bond bill, but to the extent that we have cash, that'll make it possible. That's not going to be a large extent, obviously, since we've lost about $500 million to $750 million worth of revenue. But obviously, we still have the ability to borrow, and at zero interest rates, it's actually a good time to do it. And given the need for an economic stimulus, would be a nice tool in our toolbox to help as we try to accelerate out of the shutdown. So I'm more interested in hearing what you're all about this morning than listening to myself. It feels like all I've been doing is talking for 8 hours a day straight to folks, trying to explain to various groups, community groups and business groups and various elected officials in our state, what's happening on the ground with the pandemic and what we're doing to address it. Actually, I'm very interested in being distracted with something as interesting and as exciting as a downtown development district. So to all of you in the room there that I see and those on the board that are zooming in, thanks for joining this morning. Thanks for making this program something that's been so impactful in our state and so exciting. Really gives the small towns in our state and our largest city an opportunity to get some redevelopment and attract private investment at the same time. So it's really exciting stuff, and look forward to hearing more about what's going on there.
Thank you very much, Governor Carney. This is David Ezel with the Office of State Planning Coordination. Thank you all again for joining our meeting. We are next going to ask Addi, Director of the Delaware State Housing Authority, to make a few comments. And as soon as I can find his, yep, I've got him unmuted. I'm a little new at this Zoom thing, so please bear with me. But Anas, if you're there, can you please?
I thought Anas must have been in the house, but I couldn't see his photo up there, so I thought he was hiding.
He's here somewhere.
He's hiding somewhere behind the chairs there, I guess.
I'm here. I'm at the office, sir.
Morning, Anas. How are you?
Good, good.
You need to stand closer to your razor, Anas.
I'm blaming this one on the coronavirus. So, well, I just I want to thank you, Governor, for your support. You have been supportive of not just maintaining the downtown development districts, but also worked with us to increase I think last year we moved from 8 districts to 12 districts, which opened this opportunity to 4 more districts. And the good thing is that we are seeing already interest from the new district. We are seeing applications. We are receiving calls about projects from all from 4 new districts: Clayton, Middletown, Delaware City, and the city of Newcastle. So like you said, as we are managing through this COVID-19 crisis, we didn't want to lose sight of the progress that have been made in the DDD. My objective from this workshop is a refresher on the DDD. What does it mean? How does it impact your district? But also hearing from the different districts about things that we can do differently, especially with the current crisis. There are things that are on the bill and will need legislative action for us to change. And there are also things that are in the guidelines or the manuals between the State Planning Office and DSHA that we can explore a change at our level here. I want to thank DSHA staff who are working on this initiative, and a few of them are connected here today. I also want to thank the State Planning Office. Yes, sir.
Can you mention them by name, please, so that we can thank them for their work? Do you have their names, all their names there? I don't want to put you on the spot, but I would like to recognize.
Thank you. You did already. So we have Karen Horton, our principal planner. She's focused on the policy side of the DDD, working mainly with the State Planning Office and the Division of Small Business. We also have Penny Pearson, who is the person where the rubber hits the road. She's in charge, working with her staff on the grant. So most of the investors know Penny more than anybody else at DSHA. They deal with her on the grant side. We may have also, I don't know if Susan Eliason is connected, but Susan is the division director supervising the DDD grant in addition to other programs we have. In addition to DSHA, the State Planning Office, the Division of Small Business has been a partner, especially in the recent year or two. So I want to thank Damien and his team for their work and supporting this program. Just to give you a quick recap, we have either invested or committed to invest about $34.3 million from the states through the Downtown Development District grant that has leveraged $614 million to date, and that represents 200. Yes, so it's about, I think, 5 cents to 95 cents, which is much more than what we have talked about, which is 20 cents to 80. So the leverage.
Our total investment's 35 million, you say?
Yes, just shy of 35 million for about 614 million worth of leverage.
That's awesome.
The beauty of it is we have 206 projects. It's not just a large project. We have about 126 of the 206, 126 are small projects, which is anything less than 350,000. So if you are in the districts and working with different investors, what we have done is we have increased, I think in the last year or so, we have increased that max to qualify as a small investment from 250,000 to 350,000. So now, even if you are up to 350,000, you can still come through the small project set aside, which is much more streamlined than the application for the large one. This year, we have 2 rounds. For the large projects, we have actually one that's open right now. We have 7 million for the large projects, and we have 2 million set aside for the small projects. The small project, they can come in at any time, so it's a rolling basis. They don't have to wait for an actual open round to apply. They can submit their application and get the commitment and get the reservation or the grant from us. One thing that I'm very excited about, it came from feedback from the districts and also guidance from you, Governor. If you remember, we had a meeting with you, State Planning Office, and Damien and Albert, and we were discussing the opening the round to select new district. This is before the new 4 districts were added. one of the things that you raised is how much technical assistance are we providing, especially to the small districts, and how can we bring them to a level where we can attract more investment that we are seeing in some of the larger districts like Wilmington and Dover. And what we have done working with the Division of Small Business is we went out with the joint RFP, and we were able to select Rick Farrell, who I think is connected today, who has been working already with some of the districts and has been really the quarterback to help link us to the districts. So he's working on a strategy that for the small districts that don't have a plan, let's work with them to get them into a plan. And for folks who already have a plan, how can we execute on some of these plans? He has been working also with the Division of Small Business to do some mapping, look at different strengths and weaknesses for some of the districts, and make sure that we are targeting, what makes sense for each district. So that has been an investment that we have made, not just a direct investment to the investor, but a technical assistance to the districts to make sure that they are ready with that menu when the investors come to their door. So that's all I have, and I'm very interested to hear, once we get to the feedback from the district, on what we can do in general, but also what could be done regarding the current circumstances, and how can we be helping through the DDD to manage through the current crisis. Back to you, David.
Thank you, Anas. Next, I'd like to recognize our director, Connie Holland, director of the Office of State Planning Coordination. She has a few remarks, and I think you will see her on the screen when she starts talking.
Not too close, I hope. I kind of wanted the filter. Don't be laughing, Governor.
You look good, Connie.
Thank you, sweetheart. Oh, I guess I better not call the governor. Thank you, sir.
Nobody's been calling me sweetheart these days, I gotta tell you.
I've been there. I'm glad we're all laughing today and happy, because I want to thank the governor sincerely from the bottom of my heart, because it's the favorite thing that we do in the Office of State Planning. I have to thank the people that are in the office today with me. David Edgell has really, really put a tremendous amount of work into this presentation. And Patty Cannon's with me for small business. We couldn't do without her. And of course, Nas has saved my life several times, so I have to thank him too. We even have our IT guy with us today because we want to make sure everything went well, Governor. We're like a family here, I believe, in the state of Delaware, and I know the governor feels that way too. And we have such a wonderful relationship with our town through the Downtown Development District and through I think we have some Main Street managers that we invited today too. I just want to tell you we are alive and well. I hate to turn on the TV and see all the bad news that's happening. It's a reality. But the fact of the matter, people are still looking to the DDDs and trying to figure out how to be part of that. The preliminary land use service that we do in our office, we have many applications still coming in for residential and commercial. And as I was thinking about this presentation last night and what I was going to say, making sure I didn't trip over anything in front of our governor, that Milford went through, when we were going through the really, really bad recession, Milford was open to the Office of State Planning coming down and doing a master plan. Where I'm going with this is it put Milford on the map because they were ready when we come out of this. I believe we will come out of this, and I believe the way we will come out of this is through our small businesses and keeping them alive and our towns. So we are excited today. We want to know what we can do to help you, how we can add, change, and delete our program. But you are the backbone of the state, and we love you, and we hope we get a lot of information that we will continue to share with you, and have faith we will come out of this. Thank you.